You're now tuning in to Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. Get ready to shift your thinking and turn it into success.
Hello, and thank you for listening. I'm Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. In today's message, I'm going to talk about something that I find is an issue with a lot of people. It is not an issue for everyone, but an issue for many, and that is asking for help. I think one of the hardest things in the world to do is to ask for help. No one likes to be vulnerable, and asking for help, it makes you vulnerable. It exposes a weak point. But guess what? We all have them. If you're human anyway, you have weak points. You have, even if it's just a weak point in your life, a temporary, momentary thing. I have this weakness at this moment. I have this need at this moment, and I need help with it. You know, none of us as human beings, none of us were meant to carry the whole world on our shoulders by ourselves. And this is especially true for leaders. Sometimes as leaders, we feel the need to carry all the burdens by ourselves. And that is a bad thing. You're not meant to. We are meant to have other people around us. Human beings, we're built that way. Human beings are built to need each other. So when you have your weak moments, that is when we should be asking for help. You know what else I've seen? I have seen people get pissed off because they're like, I needed this and I needed that, and nobody was there for me. Did you tell anybody you needed this and that? Because I find that sometimes they told one or two people, that's it, and the rest of us didn't know, and you mad at us for not reacting to what we didn't know about. You gotta ask for help. Now I know asking for help can be a hard thing. Because again, it makes you vulnerable. You have to expose a weakness. And it's really not a weakness most of the time, but we feel like it is, or people will treat us like it is. You need food, but you won't go to a pantry. You won't show up at a pantry because you don't want people to see you taking free food. You won't ask a friend because you don't want people to know that your finances are in the state they're in. So you sit there and starve. Isn't that foolish? Even if your local pantry, it ran out of food. And that does happen, by the way. You can still reach out to the humans around you. And you might get a couple of cans of this, a couple of boxes of that from one person, and the same thing from another person. And it'll be enough to last you to your next paycheck. You can ask for help that way. One of the biggest ways that people do not ask for help when they need it is emotionally. Some of y'all on the verge of a freaking mental breakdown, but you tell no one. You will not ask for help. You might need to see a therapist. And by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you stupid or weak. It makes you human. I would much rather see you get the emotional and mental help you need than to sit there and hold it all in for yourself. And I've seen it on people. They're just ready to burst. They're just going through so much they can't take it anymore. Sometimes it's better to unload. And it might, if it's not a therapist, it might just be a good friend who will just sit there and let you vent. That matters. I know in the past for me, I've been able to talk things out myself just by having another ear there who's willing to listen to me. Now, yes, this does mean that you have to be careful who you unload to, because some people will take your business and put it out there. And that's a fear that people have. And it's a real one. It's a legit one, man. It's very legit. However, There are people who can be trusted. If you don't feel like you have people around you who can be trusted with your information, then you might want to go see a therapist who's legally bound to keep your information. But there are people around who will keep your information and won't throw it back in your face later. And those people, you just have to watch their character first. They're around, they exist. You just have to get to know them. You have to watch for them to see who they are. But I will tell you, the people who are always telling you other people's business, please don't open up your mouth to them about yours. That's the most foolish thing you could do. If they always telling you about other people's business, trust me when I say they telling other people about yours too. And those people you do need to stay away from. I'm saying that because that's a real fear. It's a real concern. However, that's not most people. One of the biggest reasons we have fear of opening ourselves up and making ourselves vulnerable, and vulnerable is the word when we're asking for help, whether it's physical help with a physical thing, whether it's help, getting food or other physical needs met, whether it's getting emotional help. They're all things that make us vulnerable in that moment when we have that need, or at least we feel that way. Past experiences have sometimes taught us that people are not going to be there for you. Sometimes past experiences have taught you that no one's going to be there for me anyway, so I'm not going to ask for help. And you're wrong. You can ask for help. Your past experience is not everybody. It's those people. And yeah, there are some people you can't depend on. But there are some people you can. And you need to find those people. And sometimes we just have to pay attention to who's around us, because there's more people out there who are willing to help than who want to harm. I can say with strong security, with strong assuredness. There are more people out there who are willing to help you in any kind of need you have than who want to just beat you up for it. And some of us are a little more compassionate because we've been in need ourselves. We know what it's like to be on the verge of a mental breakdown. We know what it's like to need food or not have the toiletries you need because you don't even have money to buy anything till your next payday, and you got $5 and that's going towards gas. There's a lot of people who've been there. They might not say it to you. They might not look like it, but they've been there. Asking for help is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Not asking for it is one of the worst things you do for yourself, because you hold things in. You don't get your needs met. And that is detrimental for you. And if you're a parent, it spills over onto your children. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but if you're a parent, your issues become your children's issues. No matter how much you try to hide them, no matter how much you try to suppress them or pretend they're not there, they affect your children too. And for the good parents who are listening to me right now, I need you to understand that. It's another reason you need to ask for help. When you don't ask for help in whatever area you need it in, it's affecting those you love around you. It's so important that we get the help we need. There's so many of us out here who care about you and will actually help. But we need to know that you need it first. You on the verge of a mental breakdown and you smiling every day and telling everybody everything's okay. Stop it. Find your safe space and vent about it. Tell someone. Whether it's a therapist or it's your aunt or it's your best friend. Whoever. Have that moment. Ask for help. Make yourself vulnerable in that moment. Because if you don't, it's going to destroy you. If you don't, it will destroy you. I've seen this so many times. I have myself had issues with asking for help and allowing myself to be vulnerable. And I have learned that when I open myself up and allow, only with certain people, myself to just talk it out, oh my God, it makes a difference. And it's like, ooh, That was good. I can go on now. You might need more than just that, but whatever your help, whatever version of help you need, go for it. Because when you don't, I promise you, in one way or another, it'll destroy you. And that's my message for today. Please take a look at Fatima. If you want to take a look at my website, it's fatimabey.com. FATIMABEY.com is my website. If you have anything you want to email to me, communicate any comments, questions about any segments, suggestions, please email me at radio@fatimabey.com. And thank you for listening.
Tune in next week for another segment of Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. For more of her teachings, subscribe to her YouTube channel at Fatima Bey, the MindShifter.